Hi everyone, I'm Greg Drevenstedt with Rider Magazine. I'm here with the 2021 KTM 890 Adventure R. This is one of 3 bikes in KTM's middleweight adventure lineup. There's the street-focused 890 Adventure, the off-road ready 890 Adventure R, and the even more off-road ready limited production 890 Adventure R Rally. 2 years ago, KTM introduced the 790 Adventure platform. It was their first middleweight adventure platform. I went to that launch in Morocco, and the standard and R models both impressed the hell out of me. And in 2 years, they decided to update the model line. They've given it a larger engine from the 890 Duke. So the parallel twin is now 890 cc's. It's gotten a 90 cc displacement bump. And so it puts out about 105 horsepower and 74 foot-pounds of torque. Compared to the 790, that's about a 10 horsepower bump and a 9 foot-pounds of torque bump as well. So what you're getting is more power, but that's not all you're getting. What they did is refine the bike for adventure riding. In the engine, it's got a crank that's 20% heavier, so it's got more mass and more inertia. That gives it more tractability down low, especially in low RPM situations when you're riding a tricky trail. It gives it a nice, easy, steady throttle response. Other changes to the model this year are a revised clutch, a revised shifter. It's also got new suspension damping settings, as well as some adjustments to the braking system. So up front, you've got a 21-inch front wheel. Out back, you've got an 18-inch rear wheel. For this R model, its standard tires are the Continental TKC 80s. That's a 50/50 on-off-road tire. So it gives good grip when you're riding off-road, as well as pretty good grip when you're riding on the street. So for the 890 Adventure R, because of its off-road focus, it's got more of a cut down or a shorter windscreen. It's got a one-piece rally seat. It's got, with its spoked wheels, as I said, it's got the TKC 80 tires. It has platform cleated pegs and a skid plate. So when the 790 Adventure was introduced 2 years ago, one of the unique features was the low slung fuel tank that is got fuel down on both sides of the bike down low. What that does is it lowers the center of gravity, and it really aids in handling. It really allows it to have a nice balanced feel in and out of corners, as well as when you're stand-up riding off-road. The bike has a 5.3 gallon fuel capacity, and we've been getting about 41 miles per gallon. So you can go well over 200 miles on a tank of gas with this bike. So one of the things that KTM did in 2014 with the 1190 Adventure is introduce cornering ABS and traction control. Really, that was the first bike that you could buy with those features. They've become commonplace on many motorcycles. It's a great safety feature. So they've gotten better every year. This bike has cornering ABS, cornering traction control, as well as 2 different ABS modes. There's a street mode that is ABS at the front wheel and rear wheel, and an ABS off-road mode that turns it off at the rear wheel so you can skid and slide as you need to for more control off-road. Has 3 riding modes standard. There's a street mode, an off-road mode, and a rain mode. And what those modes do is they adjust the throttle response as well as the traction control settings. The bike that we're testing has the optional rally mode. Rally mode gives it a much more aggressive throttle response, but it also allows you from the left switch gear to adjust the traction control slip level. So if you want to have more or less wheel spin, if you're power sliding out of corners, if you're in sand, hill climbs and so forth, it allows you to adjust that on the fly. This bike also has an optional quick shifter plus, which allows clutchless up and down shifting. So you can avoid rear wheel hop on aggressive downshifts, and you can also just sort of click up through the gears really fast if you're accelerating through a series of corners and you don't have to use the clutch. However, this does have a nice light clutch feel. It's got a PASC assist and slipper clutch, so it's nice light feel at the lever, but it won't slip. I mean, it allows a little bit of slip, so it won't lock up on aggressive downshifts. And this bike also has the optional motor slip regulation, which is essentially kind of traction control for the engine. And all of these electronics, all they do is they really provide kind of a safety net. They don't really get in the way of a riding experience, but they're there if you need it, whether you're in a street situation or an off-road situation, where they really sort of allow you a little bit more margin of error. So We've been testing this bike. We've been testing it on road, on paved canyon roads, as well as off-road trails. And it's a really well-rounded motorcycle. It's got the wet weight is 466 pounds, so it's a pretty moderate weight. And as I said, with the fuel carried low, it's got a nice balanced feel. It's got long suspension travel, and in front and rear, it's fully adjustable WP Explorer suspension. And it's really strikes a nice balance between comfort and control. I was doing some jumps and wheelies off of water bars off-road, and it really allowed a nice controlled landing and so forth. But also riding aggressively through canyons, it's got a nice, a taut response and nice feel without, being too harsh as well. But it's easily adjustable. Like I said, you can adjust preload, rebound, and compression front and rear. So overall, the 2021 KTM 890 Adventure R is a really well-rounded adventure bike. You can ride it on-road, off-road. You can ride it long distances. You can put accessories on the back. It's got a nice luggage rack. You can get saddlebags for this bike, and you can really go the long distance. The MSRP for this bike is $14,199. And again, the Rally Mode, Quick Shifter Plus, and Motor Slip Regulation are optional extras. So we have a full review of this bike. Will be in the April 2021 issue of Rider Magazine, so check that out for more details. Please drop your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. And for Rider Magazine, I'm Greg Drevenstedt.